Hi folks, I'm smoking one of my Vaughan Iron Land pipes, and in it I've got some sliced brown twist by Garth and Hogarth. I want to do a video on my top 5 blends for this year, well for last year, 2018. They're blends that I smoke very, very regularly, at least one or two every day. But they're blends that might surprise you. The first one is the Garth and Hogarth sliced brown twist that I've got in my pipe. It's very dark tobacco, it's very strong. Let me put this down while I'm doing the tobaccos. It's a very, very pleasant blend for me. It looks like a shag tobacco. Let's see whether I can. You can see how dark it is. But it's become one of my favourites. It smokes cool. It's got a really nice flavour. I have several twist tobaccos in brown and black and various ones, but it's nice to have one that's ready cut, because it's just so easy to load the pipe and just light it. I should have perhaps given it time to dry out a little bit. It is a fairly damp blend. Well, not damp, but it can benefit from just a short period of drying out. But that's one of my favourite blends for my top 5. I'm not putting them in any particular order because I just couldn't choose, I don't think. Another one is Revor Plug. Again, another fairly strong blend. Not as strong as the twists, but it's such a lovely plug. You can see just the Virginia in it and the dark sort of tobacco, the Kentuckys, I think, and it's got some leaf in it that you can see there. It's almost a cake, but not quite. It really needs treating like a plug. Again, another cool smoke. Fairly strong, I think. But a nice nighttime smoke. All these smokes are probably better after a meal if you're nicotine intolerant. I really think I should have called this my top 5 strong tobacco blends, but they are my favourites for the year. Another plug, I'm afraid, and this is Peterson's 3P plug. Peterson's perfect plug, and it is. It's a lovely plug tobacco, very, very firm, so you need a very sharp knife to cut it. But just look at that. Tim did a video on how to prepare plug for smoking, and I suggest if you're not used to plugs that you refer to that video. But as I say, it does need a sharp knife. It cuts, once you've cut it, you can either rub it, cut it into cubes, or just put it in small bits, and once it's lit, it will stay lit. It's one of the Peterson blends that I really, really like. It has a nice taste, a very cool smoke. Again, on the strong side, but not over strong as far as I'm concerned. But then it's very difficult for me because I don't get a nick hit. So far I haven't had a nick hit for many of the tobaccos that I've smoked. So very much for me it's about taste, it's about the quality of the smoke, not the nicotine amount. So I can't really tell you which is the strongest. I know which people say that is the strongest, and that's probably this one, the brown twist, that's the brown cut twist, or the ordinary brown twist. But that Peterson's plug is a nice plug to have. Another one that I like is RB plug, and I think that used to be called Redbreast. Again, a lovely, beautiful plug tobacco. A bit lighter than many of the plugs. You can see the Virginias in it. The lighter tobaccos there. But it is a super plug to smoke. Again, you need a sharp knife for these. I tend to smoke them during the day as well as in the evening if I'm smoking them. And I tend to smoke them in a long pipe if I can. But it doesn't matter which pipe you use, they're good in all of them. I use it especially in my meerschaums or in my meerschaum pipe. In the hope that it will colour it up sort of quite nicely. And the final one is Garth and Hogarth's Sliced Black Twist. And this is supposed to have a slight rum flavour, but I've never noticed it. Again, a lovely shag cut. Very dark, slightly less strong probably than the brown twist, but a lovely cool smoke. Gives a nice smoke and a lasting sort of taste in all of them. It might seem odd me sort of choosing plugs as my favourite blends for this year, but they're all blends that I've smoked for the first time this year. They're all blends that I really enjoy. If you're not used to smoking a particularly strong tobacco, then don't fill your pipe. Or use a small pipe to start with. And have some chocolate on hand, because that's very good apparently. If you get too much of a nick hit, the sugar seems to help. It's a bit like Harry Potter in the film when when he's offered chocolate when he passes out. So if it gets too much nicotine, then chocolate's sort of quite good. I should have really let this dry out a bit. But you can see it's got a lovely sort of smoke. It's got a lovely ash, as they all have. It's sort of a grey ash or a white ash. And all of them will burn down to the bottom of the pipe without leaving any dottle or any mess. So your pipe's sort of quite clean when you finish smoking it. I tend to smoke now with filters, which is supposed to remove some of the nicotine, some of the strength. I don't know whether it does. I've never sort of noticed. As I say, nicotine's an unknown thing to me. The last time I had a nick hit was when I was in my early 20s, I think. But I would recommend that you try it at least once, one of these stronger blends. Blends that the other blends that I like is Condor. I know people will sort of say, it's an over-the-counter blend, it's not that good. But it's a lovely, flavourful blend, and it's a good smoke. I think that's different in England to the States with tobaccos is that a lot of English tobacco is stronger. A lot of the Dunhills are stronger. And I don't know whether that's something to do with English taste or just the way it's turned out. I mean, we do have aromatic blends, but I don't think they're smoked anywhere near the amount of time that they're smoked in the States. I've got a feeling it's something to do with having to import the tobacco. So they had to sort of think about what they brought over. And I think when Walter Raleigh brought it over and they continued smoking in the early years, I think they must have smoked sort of very strong tobacco, just as it came, without any casing, without any overmuch done to it, and smoked in clay pipes, which were a bit smaller. But it, you know, the twists and that are really workman's blends, I think, as much as anything else. You know, the miners always used twist at one time, simply because you could take it down the mine with you. You weren't allowed matches or a pipe, but a twist of tobacco, you could just bite off a bit, chew it, get your nicotine hit, you know, and the taste as you were working stuff. And the hard work, you know, sort of being in an 18-inch wet seam in a coal mine is no fun. You know, you're on your side, you're trying to swing a pickaxe with enough force to bring the coal out of the wall, out of the seam, and you've got water sort of running across your mouth. So chewing tobacco is sort of quite a good thing to have. But not all seams were like that. I think it was also used by the slate miners and that kind of thing. And I think one of the reasons I like smoking them is that link with the past, with the history of the blends. I mean, I could have chosen some of the other blends I've got, you know, the non-twists and plugs. Things like the half and half, which I have grown to like as a go-to blend. But my heart's really in the strong stuff. It's the tobacco I like to smoke and think and meditate. You know, I have my dog on my knee, my drink at the side of me, and the pipe. And because they're the type of blends they are, they last a long time in your pipe. Now, I smoke virtually constantly all day. I know it's probably not good for me, but it's my pleasure. It's my lifestyle. But having said that, I can equally, you know, if I'm going out somewhere, I don't take a pipe. And I could be out all day and not miss a pipe. I mean, as soon as I come back, I'll probably light up, but it's not because I have to, it's because I want to. I wonder when I lose a bit more weight, whether the nicotine will start affecting me. I don't know, because I've still got a fair amount of weight to go. I mean, I'm 16, nearly 17 stone at the moment. But that's a hell of a lot better than being 22. Anyway, I shall stop there because I go on far too long. And I hope I haven't bored you or shocked you by the blends I have. All I can do is commend them to you and say, give them a try. What have you got to lose? If you don't like it, send it to me and I'll send you some lighter tobacco. But, you know, may this new year be very special to you. I advise not making New Year resolutions. They lead to guilt. But there's nothing wrong with thinking about what you'd like to achieve during the year, as long as you then sort of work out how you're going to do it. Start in small steps and build up until you've achieved what you wanted for that year, or for that, what would be a resolution. May this year bring you all that you would wish for. May it bring you a deepening of love for your loved ones and for your fellow man. You know, one of the things that we're losing in our political system at the moment, both over the water in America and over here in England, we're losing respect for each other. We're losing respect for those in need. We've become my needs first in a lot of cases, certainly in political fields. And the party becomes more important than the things that party's doing. We put up with politicians who really shouldn't be allowed in Parliament, in a political system, kept on a short rein. I think the trouble with politicians is they're all right when you get them by themselves, but when you get them together, it's like a manure heap or a pile of rotting fish. There are one or two good ones amongst them, but the majority are just out for what they can get. Anyway, having said I was going to stop, I'm going to say God bless. God bless you. God bless your families. I say God bless, but I mean a blessing upon you. A blessing from my heart to yours.